Manipur, and where fresh violence has again come about. This on the Hindustan Times' front page. It says, "One killed as violence spikes in Manipur." The situation as of now is tense but under control. Now, Kuldeep Singh, which is the state security advisor, let's not forget, he's the one who was transferred there. He was the new appointee when it came to the security advisor for the government of Manipur. And over the last a week and a half, he's the one who's been coming out, speaking to the press and giving them, exuberating a lot of confidence in terms of what's really happening on ground and that the situation is under control. But this is pure dichotomy, isn't it? You've got the man who's saying that the situation as of now is tense, people are dying, houses are being burnt, exodus is on the way, thousands that have already left their house, people asking for a separate administration. Things are purely out of control. Generals, lieutenant generals, retired servicemen have come on our show and told us that, the border is absolutely porous. The Golden Triangle shadow is falling on Manipur. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, after saying that the situation is under control, is asking for more boots to be deployed on the ground. And now the security advisor is saying that the situation is tense but under control.
I don't know how to put it much better than the way you've put it, because this shows that things are not under control in Manipur. Let's accept the fact that this is not the situation. There have been, in Imphal, there was houses that were burnt, and now we have this incident where, some extremists have gunned down a man. Hindu has taken that story. What they say is that the suspected extremists gunned down a man in Manipur, triggering fresh violence in the strife-stone state. It also says that violence broke out late on Tuesday night in Methi-dominated Bishnupur district bordering the hill district of Churachandpur, which is the domain of the Kuki Zomi tribal group. So, Manipur is continuing to be very very tense, and I think the biggest issue is still gun. The problem is that they have not been able to get hold of the guns.
Weapons that were stolen as well.
There are stolen weapons, there are available weapons, there are hunting rifles. I mean, everything is available right at the moment. So, and people are not going to get rid of their guns right now. Unless you go ahead and ensure that the guns are out of the system, I don't think so there could be any kind of peace. You can have umpteen number of, flag marches, umpteen number of area domination exercises, but as long as the people are armed, it just takes one hothead to carry out with any sort of violence, and it could trigger larger violence after that.
Those are the banners that are, being raised, slogans that have been raised. No Golden Triangle in Manipur, save Manipur forest. Now, the forest evacuation drive is also one of those triggers that initially started the entire violence, instigated that violence. Now, Kuldeep Singh, the security advisor, he's saying that the army, the Assam Rifles, the Central Armed Police Forces and the state police have carried out search operations and have recovered some guns, grenades and cartridges. Now, there's a "some" that's a prefix over there. The search for the militants is still on, is what Kuldeep Singh has said.
Here, the Hindu has given two important articles on Manipur. One, the Congress saying that Modi must convene talks with Methi tribal leaders, and that is what the Congress has in fact asked for. Now, the Congress had sent a fact-fighting group on the ground, and this is what the Congress claims. Okay, we are not vouching for that, but this is what the Congress claims, and this is what has been written in the article. The Congress says that the Congress team found that as many as 54,000 people have been displaced, over 2,000 homes have been destroyed, and 20 police stations have been damaged. There have been several rounds of semi-automatic weapons and around several rounds of ammunition that have also been stolen from the police training center, is what is being said. So this is what the Congress's own fact-finding commission has found. But there is a demand that has come from the ITLF. The ITLF is the the indigenous tribals group. The ITLF describes itself as to be a conglomerate of recognized tribes in Manipur's Churachandpur, is what the article in the Hindu also says. What they are saying is that the forum has also sought the resettlement or reposting of tribal employees of the state and central governments as early as possible. And why they are asking for it is this: such employees have not been able to report for duty in the Imphal Valley. So saying that the tribals are facing issues in the Imphal Valley is what has been written over here. Meanwhile, the similar kind of a demand has been put forward when it comes to those people who are the non-tribals who are reporting in tribal areas as well. So again, this is something that we have to closely look at, because many of them are still worried about their safety in each other's so-called territories, the hills as well as when it comes to the valley. So demands have been saying that, let there be some kind of resettlement of the government employees in these areas as well. So clearly, this is what they have said, and they've also put out 5 demands. They have put forward to the state government these demands, saying that the forum has in fact asked for the facilitating of these demands as well. The ITF has claimed that the hill areas had not received any relief from the centre after 19 days of Manipur crisis. That they have in fact raised that issue as well. So basically, in Manipur, a lot of things is being carried out by the government to ensure normalcy, but at the same time, there seems to be a lack of control in certain pockets, and probably soon they will have control of these areas as well.
You know what, Verghese, what I'm failing to understand is that we've got a lot of people, Corn Bob, Florence Cookie, is it that simple for these people? We've got protests that are taking place in Manipur, in the hilly area, in the valley region. The demands for a separate administration for people who are not in that northeast region, who don't necessarily share boundaries with Manipur, let alone be a local resident of that state. For anybody who's looking at this from outside, is worried of the fact that, hey man, we've got one state over here that's looking for a separate sort of a division, a separation, so to speak. There's going to be another line, another divide in the northeast. And we already know that, when it comes to Arunachal Pradesh, the pressure of the dragon is something that is way too real. No division can take place in the northeast, is what the outsider feels. But if you put yourselves, and at least try to put yourselves in the shoes of the people, the local people who actually live there, maybe their demands have that kind of weightage. But the question is, the demand for a separate administration, is it that simple? We're going to carve out a different portion. You rule, govern your own kind of people. We'll govern our own kind of tribes and live happily ever after.